Let's just say that gate's not accessible. But it's the perfect opener to the design principle we're going to talk about today, which is accessibility. You might be asking me, what is accessibility, John? Well, the definition is usually meant how to design something, whether it's a product, a service, for somebody who has a disability. However, I like to broaden that definition a little bit more and think about how do you design with empathy? We're going to talk about that today on Thought Stack. So when it comes to accessibility, there are 4 key principles. The first one is perceptibility. That is, when you see something, take this sign for example, when you look at it, do you kind of understand how to use it? Well, for this, yeah, you kind of do. You know, it has a piece of wood, it has a sign, you're going to tell me something about what I'm planting, and, you know, not always, but there's usually a point, and that kind of tells you where it's going to go into the ground. So that's perceptibility. I kind of see something and I realize, okay, that's how the design works. The next is operability. So for this, you're kind of saying, I got to get into the ground somehow, push it down like this, or I can use the head of it and kind of push down and make it a little easier on myself. Cool. The third principle is simplicity. Now, you can't get much simpler than a piece of wood that has a couple screws and a little point that makes it easier to dive into the ground. That's pretty simple. It's a sign. It does its job and it does its function, and it looks nice. And the last is forgiveness. Now, forgiveness and a sign, it's a little bit of a stretch, but you can say that this will prevent, if I push down way too hard in the soil, I can't go probably farther than this edge. And that's the forgiveness. So the sign will always, at least from here down, make sure that it tells me what is going to be in that bed. So that's the 4 principles of accessibility for a simple sign. So accessibility in my eyes is just empathy. And you probably know what empathy is. It's the ability to walk in somebody else's shoes. How do you get there? You know, it's not always easy for everyone. Some people have a harder time than others. And there are a couple different ways to make it easier on yourself. One, that's my favorite, is definitely getting out of your comfort zone and going and traveling the world. You know, but sometimes people don't have that ability. But you could easily just travel outside of your city block, your neighborhood, go to a different town, and go see what other people are doing in the world and talk to them. So you have to be able to develop the ability to listen. And that just means not talking about yourself and listening to what hardships and cool things are happening in the other person's life. Oh, another one that I love, that I do a lot, is volunteering. You know, this is going out and giving just some of your time to help those in need in your local community. I'm doing that right now. I'm helping my cousin by volunteering my time to clean up some of the straw that he used for his garden to help shoot this video. You could do this for whatever you're excited about. You can go volunteer at a skate park, go volunteer and help people learn how to surf, feed them at soup kitchens, you name it, the sky's the limit. It's a good use of your time and you're gonna get some extra karma points. So another method in which you can build some empathy is to always stay curious. Like this. Kevin's growing something weird. It's a little out there. This is actually growing some basil, some lettuce leaf basil, hydroponically. You can actually grow plants that you can eat in just water and some kind of medium with some nutrients. Always stay curious. Always trying to learn something new. One of my favorite ways to build empathy, and this is directly beneficial to accessibility, is the ability to challenge your current beliefs. How can you see the world through somebody else's lens if you're always thinking about the world how you see it? You need to challenge. You might wake up and eat breakfast the same way every day, but there are billions of people out there who eat breakfast totally different than you. And this goes on and on and on and on down the road. You have to be able to say, look, not everybody is like me, so where are those differences? And then design for those. Well, I hope you liked today's design principle on accessibility. If you have any examples of your own, definitely leave them in the comments below. Maybe it's a bad design that you think could have been better. I'd definitely love to learn about it. And until next time, make sure you subscribe and smash that like button. But until next time, stay thoughtful.